Okay, so this is a bit late, but we do want to react to what the Bank of Canada has decided with their interest rate announcement a couple of weeks back. What are your initial thoughts, Ming?
Yeah, I think the big part of the interest rate announcements this time is the what is not said, right? Because in previous rate announcements, there was a lot more leading language, right, as to what they think is going to happen in the future. This time, the announcement is very much a lot more straightforward, and they're not signaling what they think future rates going to be like. That I think was what was not said in it is the most powerful piece. And if you read through it, there was so much just around they're uncertain, right? They're uncertain about the markets, they're uncertain about what's going to happen in the US, and not changing the rates, I think, is very indicative of they don't know, right? Like, if they had some certainty in where things were going to go, some change would be made, either up or down. But when there are too many variables to account for and too much uncertainty, the best action is inaction. And that's what we've seen, just a hold, right? And I think that inaction is what we're also seeing in the markets, right? I know you're seeing a lot of buyer inaction right now.
Yeah, I think when you say too many variables, it really leads to one man down south that creates a lot of disruption, not only with the partnership with US and Canada, but globally as a whole. So let's maybe we could chat about what we think.
I would say that, like, circling back to what we've seen just in the last week or so, is the interest hasn't gone away. If you go to any open house right now, it's pretty busy. Like, there's a lot of people coming through with it, which I think is surprising. But when it comes to offer nights, not a lot of offers actually being written. People are not committing. So there's a lot of window shopping right now. And as an investor, as a home buyer, as somebody who's interested in getting into this market, that's a big opportunity. We've had a lot of clients successfully close and successfully negotiate terms which are very much in the favor of the buyer. Good pricing, abatements, all sorts of stuff in the buyer's favor. And that's simply because the offers that sellers are having to work with right now are very much in the buyer's favor. So it is a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market right now. It's very much a buyer's market. Now, how long is it going to stay that way? I would say we'll stay this way while things remain uncertain. Remember, the reason it is a buyer's market is because the risk has shifted from the seller to the buyer. And as long as the risk remains to buy a house, because things are not as certain, interest rates are not as certain, economy is not as certain, it will remain a buyer's market. The moment things settle down and it is not as risky anymore for a buyer, then they'll flip back and it'll be a great time to sell. Oversupply of condos notwithstanding, but we're talking about investments, single family homes, that kind of stuff. I would say what I'm saying holds true.
Yeah, I think with like most markets, not only in real estate, they're generally growing in a bull market than in a bear market, right? And that probably holds more true in the Toronto housing market, especially with how many people we see at open houses, like you said. This buyer's market or bear market, however you want to call it, how long it will last, we don't know. It seems like a lot of people are hanging around the pool. Not a lot of people are jumping in. So we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, it's been great for our clients because a lot of people, our clients are all very sophisticated, very savvy, following the market very closely. They've been able to secure some great deals in the city. That won't last forever. We know what the Toronto market's like. It's always 95% seller's market. So we are in that small 5-10% time frame where it's a buyer's market right now.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's it for interest rates. We'll hang around, see what happens at the next rate announcement. But I will see. My prediction is that we won't see a rate change at the next announcement because I don't believe we'll have stability over the next couple of months. So we'll see.
We will see. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks very much for watching, folks, and follow us on social media.